Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving deep into the world of CSS in React. If you have ever wondered which styling approach will level up your app's design and performance, then you are in the right place. In this video I will explain 4 popular methods: styled components, CSS modules, Sass and Tailwind CSS, and help you understand the trade-offs behind each one. Imagine building a large-scale React application where maintainability, performance and team collaboration are critical. Which CSS strategy would you choose? Here is a quick preview. CSS Modules offer scope styles with minimal tooling, great for traditional projects. Sass adds superpowers like variables and nesting to help you manage complex designs. Styled components bring CSS directly into your JavaScript, making dynamic styling a breeze. Tailwind CSS is a utility-first framework that accelerates development with pre-built classes. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which approach will be right for your project and why. Let's get started. I have created a demo project to showcase that 4 CSS approaches. As you see, app component is gonna render 4 different cards, and each card is gonna represent a different CSS approach. The first one would be Tailwind, then styled components, then CSS modules, and by the end we will see a card implemented with Sass approach. Let's take a look at the folder structure. So here we have that 4 components, and also for some of them we have separate CSS files. And that's how it's gonna look in the browser. So here we have Tailwind CSS, then we have styled components, then we have CSS modules, and the last card is Sass. Also, each card has slight different in functionality. So here, for example, if you click on the button, we toggle the theme. Here is basically the same, but also we add extra content and we change the title of the button. Here we change just the state of the button, and this one would stay unchanged. First up, Tailwind CSS. Tailwind takes a unique utility-first approach by providing a massive set of predefined classes which you can mix and match in your JSX. This leads to a fast development process and consistent design system. And that's how we use these classes here. So here we define the width, padding, the shape of the container, the shadow, the text alignment, etc. And to be able to find a specific class you can refer to Tailwind website. Here you can go to this search and type, for example, font size. And here we have the classes related to the font size. And here on the left you can see different sections with the classes. So for example, if you need something related to backgrounds, you can go here and let's say we want to explore background image classes, and here is it. And there are a lot of different classes which you can use straight away in your project. And very important thing, to be able to use Tailwind CSS in your project, you need to install Tailwind package. And also you need to add it to vidconfig, like that. Here's our card made with a Tailwind CSS, and let's explore in DevTools the classes we have added for that container. So as you see here, Shadow XL translates to box shadow, and text center to text align center, P5 to padding, and BG white to background color white. That's how it works. So now let's talk about pros and cons using Tailwind CSS. So what is the pros of Tailwind CSS? Utility first approach, highly customizable, small final CSS size, which is very important, consistent design and fast prototyping. Talking about cons, it has messy markup, which decrease significantly the readability of the code. Also, it has learning curve for class names, so to be able to build something, you definitely at the beginning need to refer to the Tailwind website and documentation to get the proper classes. It doesn't have semantic class names, which again decreases the readability and maintainability of the code. Also, it has over-reliance on config and poor separation of concerns. Tailwind is ideal for teams who want quickly build polished UIs without writing a lot of custom CSS. It is especially popular in Sass dashboards and other fast-paced development environments. And by the way, if you want to know how to build a dashboard using Tailwind CSS, you can take a look at one of my videos on the channel where I explain how to build dashboards with Tailwind CSS. Now let's explore styled components, a CSS and JS library that allows you to write your styles in React components using template literals. This approach means that your styles are co-located with your component logic, making it very dynamic and modular. Now let's take a look at a profile card made with the styled components. As you see here, we have the card container, avatar, name, job, and button. And also you can notice this pretty weird thing. This is the way we pass variables to our styles to make them dynamic. Now let's go and take a look at that file. So here, before we write styles, we need to import styled from style components library, which we need to install before. So here we have all the styles for parts of our component. So here we are declaring the variable with export, and then we need to call styled div. And here inside, we write our styles. And by the way, here is the variable we pass to that card component. And this variable helps us to dynamically define background color of the card. The rest of components define in the same way, but only you can notice that we use different tags for these components. And basically that's it of the setup of styled components. As you remember, we have dynamic background for the card. So if you click here, it changes from white to yellow. And now let's explore that component using our DevTools. And as you see here, we have some unreadable classes that actually helps to create that styles isolation. So what about pros and cons for style components? Pros: scoped styles by default, dynamic styling with props, no class names conflicts, collocated styles and logic, theming supports built-in. And the cons are a runtime performance overhead and larger bundle size, and actually this is the thing you have to consider if you decide to use styled components. And the rest are harder to extract CSS, tooling and linting limitations, and learning curve. Styled components are perfect for building dynamic themable application, especially if you consider both web and React Native. Now, CSS modules. This approach gives you locally scoped CSS by converting your class names into unique hashes during the build process. It is as simple as writing plain CSS in file named like button.module.css and then importing it into your component. Let's take a look at that example. So here we import styles from profile card modules.module.css, and then we refer to that object to pass the proper class of the element. So here we have card, avatar, name, job, and as well button secondary and button primary. Let's take a look now at that module CSS. As you see, it looks like pretty standard CSS, and you can notice also in that part we reuse that button base styles for button primary and button secondary, which is pretty cool. And now in the browser, we're going straight away to Elements and DevTools, and here I want to bring your attention to that class names. So you see here we have card, and then we have unreadable class naming, so that actually helps us to create that styles isolation. So now let's talk about pros and cons of CSS modules. So the pros are that it has scoped styles, avoids naming collisions, supports composition, dead code elimination, and better maintainability. In terms of cons, it requires build step, more verbose, no dynamic styling, limited tooling, and harder to share styles. CSS modules are ideal for mid-sized projects where you want straightforward, reliable methods to keep your styles isolated. This approach is well suited for the teams familiar with the traditional CSS workflows. And finally, we have Sass. Sass is a preprocessor that extends CSS with the variables, nesting, mixins, and functions, essentially giving your style sheets the power of programming language. With Sass, you write styles in SCSS file and then compile them to plain CSS during the build process. Let's take a look at that example. That approach is actually the most closest to the standard CSS theming in React. Elements has the standard class names, so we will use here profile card, avatar, name, job, and follow button, and we will get these classes from that file which we're importing here. Let's take a look inside that file. In the beginning of the file, we define mixin, which receives breakpoint and then performs the media query depend on that breakpoint. But first, let's take a look at the classes of the card. So here we have the main profile card, and here we have nesting. So here we define all the classes of the elements which is inside that profile card. Down there we have a follow button. Also we have nesting of hover functionality here. So on hover it's supposed to change background color, and here in the end we use that mixin. So here we specify the logic how name and job are supposed to behave when we hit that breakpoint of 500 pixels. And now let's take a look at that example with that breakpoint. So now screen is on 522 pixels, and now let's reach less than 500. So you see that text size was changed. That's how we utilize mixin in that example. And let's inspect that profile card component. So you see the classes remain as we defined them. So that means if we define the same class avatar in some other component, that will bring unexpected behavior. Okay, so what's then the pros and cons of Sass? The pros are variables and nesting, we just saw them, partials and modularization, mixins and functions, strong community and ecosystem, preprocessor power with CSS output. And cons are it requires build step, global scope issues, can get messy with deep nesting, no native CSS features, and less useful with component-based frameworks. So to wrap up, Sass shines in the projects with complex UI rules or legacy code bases where design system is already in place. I tweaked a bit the names on the cards to make them correspond to the images. Anyway, it's randomly generated data. Before we wrap up, here is a quick look how this approaches a startup in terms of performance. In terms of initial load time, CSS Modules, Sass, and Tailwind deliver a faster load time because they serve precompiled CSS. In contrast, styled components inject styles in runtime, which can be a bit slower initially. In terms of runtime overhead, in CSS Modules, Sass, and Tailwind, there is no to minimal runtime overhead. Styled components, however, does incur some overhead due to dynamic style injection. In terms of bundle size, I can mention that only style components out of these four can add up to your final bundle size. That comparison shows that your choice depends on what is important for your project: development speed, dynamic styling, or raw performance. To wrap up, there is no one-size-fits-all answers when it comes to styling your React apps. If you want simplicity or straightforward build process, CSS Modules or Sass might be the way to go. If you need dynamic component-driven styles, styled components could be the best bet. And if you're looking for rapid development and consistent design system, give Tailwind a try. I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below on which CSS method you are using or planning to try out. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.